story has been going viral of the mother and son situation in Chicago at the Maxwell's that ended in the guy being deleted, losing his life. Now, the title of this is the Chicago prosecutor that handled this case should be fired, and probably will be. And I'm going to tell you why. Probably for a reason you never thought about. In this case, and I did an earlier video, in this case, this mother went to Maxwell's, got into an altercation where she was assaulted. Her son defends her, shoots the guy. Guy stumbles, runs out of the restaurant. The mother and his son pursue him, shoot him a couple more times. Now, the duty to retreat is not a cohesive law where you got to retreat. But the fact that once somebody else retreats and they're no longer a threat because they're running away and you shoot them in the back, that's illegal. In case you didn't know, that's illegal. Ain't, right, wrong, whatever you want to say. Once a person is retreating, you cannot shoot them. Now, that's a crime. The second one is, when you have a license to carry, a minor is never allowed to have access to your firearm or your weapon. That's the second crime.
I found this on the web.
The third charge was leaving the scene of the crime. Now you may ask why I'm saying all this. Because the prosecutor let public opinion make her dismiss all charges and let them go. Okay, that's cool. Now, the deceased family, they might probably feel some type of way about it. But she dismissed all charges. Meaning, she didn't prosecute for leaving the scene of the crime. She didn't prosecute for the juvenile having a weapon. She didn't prosecute for shooting in the back when he was retreating. The prosecutor went with public opinion and dismissed all charges. And maybe she might even sympathize with the woman who was assaulted. You know what I mean? So, it's okay. You know what I mean? You can't take the actions back. No use, no need for the woman to lose her freedom and the juvenile to go to prison himself, defending his mother. But why the prosecutor should be fired and her office is under attack, I'm finna show you that no good deed goes unturned. I mean unpunished.
Complaint on behalf of Carlishia Hood. This complaint is being filed against the city of Chicago and the defendant officers who were responsible for her arrest. The complaint contains counts of malicious prosecution, false arrest, and intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Now again, I'm going to show you how he is an ambulance chaser and he lying. There was no false arrest. When she left the scene of the crime and left the deceased bleeding out in the parking lot, somebody had to be arrested. So that wasn't no malicious prosecution. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to be arrested. And with a prosecutor, I'm going to let you hear me some more before I talk on it.
That's right. We do not take what happened to Ms. Hood lightly. intend to pursue this lawsuit, and there will be additional lawsuits forthcoming. I want to add that Ms. Hood and myself, we recognize that there has been a life lost. So we are praying for the.
So my thing is, if you recognize that a life has been lost, the circumstances involving that is to be determined by a jury. A jury decides whether what she did was self-defense, the legality of it. That's for a jury or a judge to decide. Once the incident and the altercation jumped off, you know what I mean? You got to go to court. You got to argue your position, and you got to deal with the facts of the case. And the facts of the case, as we see it, is she was assaulted. Her son shot the guy. The guy ran, they pursued him. She shot him again. They left the scene of the crime. All these are arrestable and prosecutable offenses. Period. The prosecutor in this matter called herself looking out for this lady by dismissing all the charges on her and her son without even going to a jury, without even going through the necessary and appropriate channels to exonerate her and say she's either guilty or not guilty. But the point that I'm making is the prosecutor dismissed all charges. Really, basically, looking out for this lady, Carlishia Hood. She really was looking out for her, but not charging her with nothing. Think about what I said. She didn't charge her for leaving the scene of the crime. And when she left the scene of the crime, if she took the weapon with her, like she did she conceal evidence in the criminal matter? Prosecutor didn't charge her with nothing. Cool, nobody has a problem with it. But look what the prosecutor is going to get in return with the office
Of this man who lost his life. I don't want that to be forgotten. We appreciate that lives were affected by this incident, and so we don't want to be.
So this guy here, this warrior here, typical ambulance chasing. You see all the law groups and advertising that he's doing in the background and how he wants to be out there. This is not even about the person that lost their life. It's not about the trauma to the 14-year-old boy. It's not even about what's real. What's real is that the lady did a lot of things wrong in the situation, and they cut her a break when they should have just kept the charges and let a jury decide what the legality of it was. But the prosecutor, public opinion, call themselves being fair, lets her go with no charges. And this guy here immediately wants to sue.
Dilute or diminish that.
Immediately sue him.
Ms. Hood and her son, we believe were wrong, and we intend to pursue that. Ms. Hood is not going to be answering any direct questions. Myself and Attorney Williams will be answering a limited number of questions. However, once Ms. Hood has time, and keep in mind that Ms. Hood was just.
I'm going to tell you something else. You know, you got a lot of like these ambulance chasing lawyers or whatever. They don't be concerned with the interests of justice. Not at all. You know what I mean? Because if you ask yourself honestly, did she receive justice? Did the deceased person receive justice? You may say it was justifiable homicide, which is still for a jury to decide. You understand what I'm trying to get to you? And again, this prosecutor, this lady prosecutor, called herself looking out for her. And they going for the money. Big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies. Listen to her promote this thing.
Yesterday afternoon. And so she needs time. But once she is able to process and reconnect with her family, she will present herself again, and we will make her available, but not right now. We're asking that you give her space. We understand that there have been a number of people going to her home, attempting to contact her at her home. We also recognize that there have been things going on in the World Wide Web that may not necessarily be genuine or without malice. And so we would ask each and every one of you out there to keep this family in your prayers.
I'm gonna tell you how disingenuous this lawyer is. He's a lawyer. He knows that they cut her a break by dismissing all charges. He knows this. He knows it. So he sees an opportunity to promote his firm. He comes out there with the other sister, and they give you this theatrics to get this money that they think they're going to get. But everybody in that prosecuting office in Chicago, in Cook County, they're looking at this and they were like, we cut her a break. We expedited her release. We didn't take it to a jury. And they dropped all the charges, thinking that this lady would lay low, keep her head down, get out the way, go rebuild her family, deal with the trauma that her son is going through. But once these lawyers found a way to involve themselves in it, going for clout, they put her right back in the camera, right back in front of the world again, immediately after this whole issue, because they see money in it for them. This right now, at this point, it ain't about justice. We know it's about money. And we know that these type of attorneys, we know what they're about. You know what I mean? We know what they're about. He's saying all these things that he knows to be false. You shoot somebody in the back, you have to be arrested. For real. Once they retreat and you give them that back shot, that's a crime. I'm telling you what I know. So when he comes out in front of the people and says justice and unlawful prosecution, he wants a quick settlement. He wants Chicago to quickly settle the case so they can get him a few dollars. He can do the Ben Crump and the Al Sharpton. He can go on his tour of ambulance chasing. I'm gonna let him finish though.
Protect this family. Protect this family, and I have good reason to believe that they need protection. And
Yeah, they need protection from you because you gotta be putting them right back in Front Street. You're putting them right back out there. You're going for the money. I think he's advising this lady wrong. He's giving her real bad advice because he really doesn't care. He sees something in it for himself and his firm, but he's advising her wrong. And that Cook County and them people that dismissed all the charges and let her go, they see. They see. Because if they'd have took it all the way to trial, think about this. If they'd have let a jury decide, do you think she would be able to sue? Do you think it'd be malicious prosecution? A man was deleted. What's malicious about arresting and charging a suspect? They're using fake outrage for a money grab, which is going to dilute justice for people in the future. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt black people in the judicial system. This is not going to be that win that we think, because a prosecutor has discretion to charge or to bring charges. So this prosecutor used their discretion to say, you know what? I'm not going to prosecute her on none of the crimes that was committed because of the level of disrespect that her assault was. which was a bold move. A jury would have let her go anyway. The jury wasn't going to convict her. But the fact that you dismissed all charges, this lady should have just took her win, got out the way, and lay low, because she was not maliciously arrested. She had to go answer and talk to them people about what happened. She knew that. That's why she didn't wait to talk to them people. That's why she got in her car, and her son took that pistol and went back home and waited. They already knew in their minds that everything they did after that initial shot and that gas stopped assaulting her was criminal. So these lawyers, you know, I don't know a lawyer ever that you can trust to really have your best interests at heart. You know, they all work for the system. So I'm gonna let him finish, and then I'm gonna end this. No lies detected.
With that, we will open it up for any questions. The lawsuit was filed this morning in the circuit court of Cook County. Well, that'll be something that we'll address in the near future. But that'll be something that we'll address in the near future.
Mr. Brown, can you talk to us a little bit, about the way this played out? So,
Closets by Design does more than organize your home. Maximize space, plus add beauty and value to your home.
the police have put out some video of,
This is low because of their audio, not mine.
turn herself. So with that said, the police would have had to have seen her get hurt or beat at that point. So then there's this time in between that and this vital video where we're hearing from the state's attorney more evidence is presented. We assume that that's the viral video, but we also know that police had some kind of video in their possession to even put out a picture or an image of her to turn herself in. So is the crux of this that there was a rush to charge? Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, it was an obvious rush to judgment. And
But they would have seen this video and seen her being beaten. So
He can't even say that shit with a straight face. He know he lying. There was no rush to judgment. They had to wait a couple of days, see the video, see the shooting, see the circumstances, and then go get them and arrest them. What's the rush to judgment? The rush to judgment was possibly dismissing all charges. See, look at the lawyer. Look at this lawyer. He's being very dishonest, and he got this lady on Front Street when he says a rush to judgment. How was it rush to judgment? As soon as she was arrested and they ascertained the facts, the prosecution, in their ability to use discretion, decided to dismiss all charges. He knows this. He fumbled when she asked him the question because he know he's being disingenuous. He know what he's trying.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right. Why fight no fault with the state's attorney's office in terms of charges?
well, again, we want to thank State Attorney Tim Fox for doing the right thing and dismissing the charge.
They want to thank Kim Fox for doing the right thing and dismissing it. So now they're going to sue her office and sue her peers because she used her discretion to let this woman go free with no charges. They want to thank her, but they want to sue though. You hear that? This is a lawyer for you. We want to thank her, but we want to sue her, and we want to cost her job because we need that bag.
With respect to our complaint, it is a legally viable complaint. It is rooted in the law. We understand the concerns that people may have about the process, and we certainly share those concerns. But But right now, I think it's short-sighted to take that direction. If we go on further investigation, we may be able to better answer that question.
If the police did indicate you were disqualified.
It's in our complaint, so we have copies here of the complaint.
But can you say it on camera?
Now you hear the reporter asked him point blank, what are you saying that the police did wrong in this situation? He won't answer that because the complaint is only used to try to extort Cook County into a settlement. But what if Cook County or another agency picks up that case for them other charges?
What did the police do? Like when they took her in custody, what
That's what they did. They wrongfully arrested her. And I don't want to go into great detail.
Oh, this is crazy. How could they wrongfully arrest her when she was the driver, the getaway driver on camera after that man was deleted? She has to get arrested. She got to get arrested. So to determine what the facts is it justifiable? Was it excessive? It has to be hers. A jury or a judge, somebody has to look at all the evidence and see if it shall go to a trial in an all-the-way prosecution. He knows this. I want you to watch how disingenuous this guy is. He need to be exposed because he getting that lady in some trouble.
You don't have to be a lawyer to appreciate and recognize that when a woman is violently attacked by a man, an unarmed woman, that she shouldn't be arrested. And if any one of you,
Why she should, even though she was attacked and shot the man, if she'd have just shot him one time, if the boy would have just shot him one time, maybe they had to be arrested. He knows this. This guy knows this, and he's ill advising this lady. And I'm gonna stay abreast of this case because watch how this turn out. They know that this lawsuit right here, they're trying to use the court of public opinion to extort Cook County. Hey, I wonder is it gonna work and come out the way they think it is.
were to replace Carlishia Hood with your mother, with your sister, with your daughter, if your mother or sister or daughter were attacked in a restaurant when she's trying to order a cheeseburger, would you expect that she would be arrested? What would you do in that situation?
Yeah, I would expect for my daughter or somebody to be arrested if they shot somebody several times in the back and did all the things that she did. I still would want them to beat the case. See, I'm not saying that, you know, that the guy didn't deserve what he got or whatever. I'm showing you that this guy here is playing a game with people's lives for money, and he's just going for the clout. This is your typical no good attorney. I'm telling you. Listen to his whole argument. He keep trying to pull on your emotions. If somebody hit your mother, if somebody hit my mother, and I smoke him, and I shoot him in the back, guess what? Hell yeah, I need to be arrested. So I can determine I was in a heat of passion or whatever, but I got to be arrested. For sure, I understand that. He understands that. He knows what it is. But he's trying to extort Cook County. I don't think this is going to come out the way they want.
And so if anyone can draw any other logical conclusion from that other than that she should not be arrested, I think you understand where our lawsuit is coming from and what it's rooted in.
Why not? Why the hell? There's no defending what the police did before the shooting. But when the hell is it happening? Why not leave rather than ask your son to come and arrest him?
So we're not going to answer that. We're not going to answer that question. That'll be something that'll come out later.
And I don't.
enough of this. Y'all can see it on there again. But you see, when the reporter said, well, why she didn't ask to leave, and they asking questions, he's not going to ask no type of questions because he know what he's doing. He's trying to strong arm Cook County. So let's watch and see how it's fall out. You know, how it plays out. Matter of fact, I'm going to change the name and title of this video. And it's going to be an interesting title. Signing to you out of Detroit. Y'all keep your head on swivel, like, share, subscribe, and video.